Then she began to cackle and I began to quake. Now this particular word cackle, you are very familiar with this, written not in chapter 1, exercise 1, differentiate the subject and the predicate. The cackling of geese say groan. So what is cackle? The sound produced by the goose or the geese. So it's a kind of confused noise. And the lady began to cackle. What a beautiful reference you are getting over out here. There is a difference between sound and music. Music, tal, loy, chondo. And what about noise? Noise is something which actually is annoying, which is irritating, which is disturbing. So the lady is producing a cackling sound, a confused noise, a kind of a clatter, and that particular noise, along with the appearance of the lady, is simply destroying the mental peace and stability of the little boy. And in fear, he began to quake. Quake means to tremble, to shiver. So the boy, who was primarily very afraid of the appearance of the old lady, also has started shaking, trembling on account of the cackling noise produced by the lady as well. She opened up a little bag and I came twice awake. And she opened up her little bag, the bag in which she was holding the secret of mankind, holding the destiny of mankind. She opened it up and I came twice awake. A very important clause here. I came twice awake. It cannot mean, mind it cannot mean that he woke up from his sleep or rather 2 consecutive times. Not like that. Now it has a specific meaning. I came twice awake refers to one specific thing, and that is he became all the more conscious. A new consciousness dawned upon him. He became conscious about his position. He became conscious about his future. He became conscious about the implication of his current action. And what actually has brought about this consciousness? The view, the vision that the little boy had when simply he peeped inside the bag. So she opened up a little bag and I came twice awake, surrounded by a staring tribe and me tied to a stake. So what did he see? Peeping in the particular bag itself, he saw that he was simply surrounded by a staring tribe. Now who are these particular entities referred to as the staring tribe? Wonderful reference. The staring tribe refers to the cut down trees, the destroyed ones, the failed ones, the trees which we already have felled. And the trees are staring. When do we stare at somebody? We stare at somebody whenever we find something strange, we find something unusual, or we find something surprising. So the staring tribe, which refers to the felled down trees, the cut down trees, they were staring at, looking hard at the little boy, and the boy has been tied to a stake. Now, what does stake mean? It refers to a pole. আমরা বাংলায় বলি খুঁটি. So he has been tied to a particular pole, a log of wood, which again is one of the cut portions of any specific or any particular tree. So why the boy has been tied to the stake? That we need to think of again, because in the boy, the felled down trees have identified an offender. Offender in what sense? We the human beings keep on mercilessly felling the trees in spite of deriving benefits from them. And since he represents that mankind, no matter whether he has personally felled any trees, cut down any trees or not. It is not important at all, because we suffer from global warming, we suffer from so many natural problems, and it is actually the consequence of the cumulative effect of the stupidity of human beings. We may not be directly involved in such kind of a destructive action, but we cannot avoid the circumstances, we cannot avoid the situation at all. So what happens there? The little boy has been considered as an offender, representing the men who have actually cut down the trees thoughtlessly and mercilessly. So the offender has been identified, the offender has been pinned up, the offender has been tied to a pole, to a tree, to a stake, and the cut down trees are staring hard at him, thinking hard what kind of punishment can be implicated on this particular offender, that means in general to mankind. And they said, that means those destroyed trees, the cut down trees, they said, we are the oak trees and your own true family. So now they have disclosed their identities. We are the oak trees. So the oak trees, which should have been nurtured as our very near and dear family members, but instead of that, in place of that, what we have done to them? We have destroyed them. We have cut them down. And so, though they have been working as family members, though they have been beside us all the time in our need, we are not paying our dues to them. We are absolutely ungrateful to them. We do not acknowledge the debt that we owe to them. And ultimately, the existence, which should have been considered to be true family members, our nearest ones, dearest ones, what we have done to them? We have destroyed them, we have chopped down, we have torn up, and you do not blink an eye. So we have chopped down, that means you human beings have thoughtlessly cut us down. We the human beings have fallen or felled that particular trees. We are torn up. And you do not blink an eye. That means human beings are absolutely non-bothered, least bothered, nonchalant. So we never even think of whether or rather the people who cut the trees, they never think of anything for them. And even if we witness the merciless action, we never also show any kind of consideration for that. We remain absolutely non-bothered. We are nonchalant. We are indifferent. Indifferent towards the very act which should have been considered to be one of the most heinous act on planet Earth. That means cutting down of trees. So you do not blink an eye. You never show any emotion. You never show any kind of consideration. And unless you make a promise now you are going to die. So unless you make a promise, now the trees want the boy, that means want we the human beings to make a promise, to take a vow. And that promise is to do something which they will be talking later, which we will be finding in the next stanza. But the punishment has been pronounced very, very unequivocally. And what's the punishment? The punishment is, if we do not actually promise to do something right now, then we are all going to die. So the final punishment, the capital punishment, the punishment of death, which will ensue if we do not stop doing what we are doing right now.